Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Thursday Live, everybody. I'm so excited to see who is going to join me today on the live training. Hello, hello. Let me know as you're joining me if you can hear me, see me, and if you're catching this on the replay, type replay in the comments so I can know that you are watching this and you're enjoying this along with me. Alrighty, so today's topic for the Thursday live training is going to be all about this concept that, hi Cairo, hey Anna, am I pronouncing your name right? Let me know if I pronounced your name right. Cairo. Hey Eliza, Acacia, good to see you. Oh, I'm so glad to see you guys hopping on here. This is one of those trainings that I've been kind of itching at giving a training on for a while because it's so important. This is one of the critical components that I struggled with hardcore in the beginning. And so I want to make sure that you guys get training on this because I know this is the key between staying stuck and having like no clients, no revenue, nothing going on in your business, and actually getting your business off the ground and getting those clients in the door and getting them in the door consistently and predictably. Hey Caitlin, oh, good to see you. All right, so on this training we are talking about sales. We're talking about sales. How many of you have opinions or feelings that come up when you think about sales or when you hear the word sales? I know in the beginning for me, when I first started as a health coach, just even thinking about this concept of sales and like, oh, I have to learn sales, it would just create this, the best way I can describe it is like an icky feeling. How many of you guys associate sales with an icky feeling sometimes? Or maybe you've had an experience with a salesperson in the past that was like icky. Maybe you've had somebody try to sell you something that you totally don't want, right? But they totally are trying to convince you that you do want it. And you're like, no, I actually don't really want it. And I also hate conflict and I don't like offending people. And this is just really uncomfortable. I'm sure we've all had that experience. Leave I in the comments if you've ever had an experience where somebody wanted you to buy something and so they were selling you something and it wasn't even something you really wanted and it made you kind of uncomfortable to say no because, you know, especially if you're a people pleaser, you don't want to hurt their feelings, and you can tell they really want you to say yes. Right? Or maybe it's just in general you have thoughts about sales because of what we've seen in the past from, you know, like car salesman, that example of that old car salesman that's kind of like shady and trying to sell you the lemon on the lot. And so you don't really know if you can believe them, right? It's just not fun. Or maybe you've had people knock on your door, solicitors, or maybe you've had a door-to-door job in the past and you hated it, whatever your experience was. All of our past experiences with sales can really come back to haunt us when we decide to be coaches. And now, as entrepreneurs, we have to know how to sell our offers and reconcile that. Because if our brains think that's what selling is, and now we think, oh, we're going to have to do that to get clients, it creates this it creates this discrepancy in our minds, right? It feels out of alignment with what we want to do, which is we want to be able to coach clients, but in order to get there, we feel like we have to sell them something. How many of you guys have this thought or you're a fear that you're going to have to learn something like that if you ever want to get clients and have a successful business? Leave it in the comments if that's a fear that you've had or you currently have about signing clients and sales, right? So I want to dive into what you actually need to do to sell coaching, right? To do sales for coaching. And I want to break some of these beliefs that you might have had about sales and what you actually need to do if you want to be a successful coach and sign lots of clients. Before I dive into that, I just want to share with you that if you're in a spot right now where you don't know how to sell and you know how to coach, but once it comes to actually making offers and collecting a credit card from someone over the phone, it's like gives you anxiety. I was there in the beginning. I was the worst saleswoman on the planet. And it wasn't because I didn't know how to help people. It wasn't because I didn't have the knowledge to help clients. I had so much anxiety about picking up the phone and having a conversation with them, knowing at the end of it I was going to make them an offer if they were the right fit, and I was going to have to ask for money. And so this brought up all of my beliefs about like self-worth, asking for money, conflict, fear of rejection, fear of judgment, is it worth what I'm offering? All of those limiting beliefs. And I remember for at least 2 weeks straight, just feeling like I was going to throw up. Like I remember feeling actually nauseous to take enrollment calls from potential clients. It was the worst feeling in the world. And I just struggled hardcore. I remember the first time I made an offer to someone, she was like, nope, I'm not going to do that. I didn't know what I was doing. I was following a script and I was like literally reading through the questions on a script like a robot. How many of you guys have ever had sales scripts? Maybe you've had them from other programs before or coaches that have told you like, here, use this script. It's like magic. And if you just read it, like people will throw credit cards at you. And then you actually pick up the script and you start reading through all the questions in order. You don't miss one question and people are not throwing credit cards at you. Right? It doesn't work that way. We can't be robots. It's an actual human being on the other end of the phone. We have to have actual conversations and real relationships with people. Reading through a script like a robot there's no magic behind that. It doesn't create conversation. People can actually tell what you're doing when they can tell you're not listening to them, you're just reading through the script. So in the beginning, I did that. I've totally tried that. She said like, no, sorry, can't afford that. And then I choked up. I got so afraid. I was like, okay, all right, that's fine. And I have a good night. And I signed off the phone. I didn't even like coach her past the first no or to find out what she meant by that or anything. And I got the worst email from her the next day, or it was actually her boyfriend. And he was like, you're a horrible person, and I can't believe that you're trying to take advantage of her, and all of these things that came up because I wasn't actually having a real conversation with her. I was just reading through questions on a script and not even listening. And what it did is it actually made it worse, because instead of getting to the truth about what's going on with the clients, which is something we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to solve all of this for you today if this ever happens to you. I was not present in the conversation. I was just reading through a script. I didn't know what I was doing, and I ended up, having a negative sales experience, which just further cemented my fear and my nausea of sales. But I want to offer to you, and the reason why I'm telling you about these horrible experiences from my past is that if you feel like you struggle with sales right now, know that there is nothing wrong with you, and there's no reason why you can't be an amazing coach and actually enroll clients consistently into your programs. You can master the process of doing consultations and enrolling people into your program. The reason why I know that is because I know how much I struggled and how bad I was and how far I've come once I mastered this process we're going to go over today. And just this past month, you guys, we've collected over $100,000 in revenue from new clients. Okay? That's through this same process we're going to talk about today. Enrolling clients the right way. And that's not $100,000 on contracts, that's $100,000 collected, right? So I want you to understand that I've come a long way, and if I can do it, you can do it too. So it might feel like sales is horrible right now. You might have a lot of icky, toxic feelings that come up with sales, but you can get over that. I'm going to share with you how. All right? So the first thing I want you to understand when it comes to having an enrollment conversation, and this is the first thing I want to break in terms of beliefs that we've had or experiences we've maybe had with other sales models in the past, or times people have tried to sell us something in the past. But the number one rule you need to follow when it comes to enrolling clients on your programs is that your clients, if you make an offer to someone, no matter what you do on a call with somebody, whether you make them an offer or you point them in another direction, everything that you do surrounding that conversation with your clients is centered on what is going to serve them. What is in their best interest? That is at the heart of every intention, every thought you have, every decision you have on that call. Whether you make them an offer, whether you don't make them an offer because you don't think it's in their best interest, what you ask them to get more clarity, everything you do is coming from that place. So before you ever pick up the phone to call a potential client, you need to actually center yourself and align yourself with that mission. And I get it, in the beginning, when you have no clients and you are like hurting financially and you're in lack and scarcity and you're like, I just need to make money, it's totally human to have those moments where you're like, I really need them to sign up though. Like, I really need them to do this for me. So that's why it's important before you ever call a potential client and have this conversation, which is for them and about them, that you actually center yourself and remind yourself to go into the conversation. That is your intention, and that is the intention that you carry with you the whole time. All right, so I want to circle back on that because it's going to come up later. But before we get into more of that intention and some of the things that come up in our own heads when we start to sabotage on calls and spin out, is the actual structure of the call. All right, I'm not talking about the scripts or any scripts that you might have had in the past. What structure is actually happening on a call for the client? What do they need to have happen in order to have a breakthrough, in order to have an aha moment and be able to be in an empowered place to make a decision about the rest of their life, which direction they want to go? And I want to share this analogy with you that my coach shared with me. And the analogy, if you're my clients and you're on here, you've probably heard this analogy because I share the same analogy with my clients all the time. It just really hit home with me when my coach Cindy taught this to me when I was learning consults. So the analogy I'm going to share with you is called Dream Island, or that's what I call it, is Dream Island. If you want to hear about Dream Island, leave me a heart in the comments and let me know if you want to hear this analogy, because I don't care what script you've been given. I don't care what questions you've been told to ask. If you are in the middle of the jungle, in the middle of the Amazon jungle, and you come across a client and you have no script with you and you're all on your own, if you understand this structure, you can take anybody through a consult without a piece of paper in front of you or a script to follow. So if you want to hear it, leave me a heart, and I'm going to share with you this analogy, and it will change the game for you, okay? This is actually what's happening on a call. It doesn't matter if you have a weight loss offer. It doesn't matter if you help people who are athletes preparing for competitions. It doesn't matter if you help people with their hormones. It doesn't matter if you help people with their business. This is any offer. This is what's happening, okay? And this is critical, okay? This is the structure that will take somebody and allow them to make a decision, okay? This isn't about pressuring them, okay? So in the analogy of Dream Island, this is what's happening. Picture yourself on island number 1. This is where your current prospective client is on, right? This is like Hell Island, okay? There's every worst nightmare is on this island, okay? So you meet your prospective client on this island, and they're coming to you and they're saying, help, I've got to get off this island. I have this huge problem. I've been stuck on this island for 10 years. 10 years I've been on this island. I need to get off the island. So you start asking them questions about the island they're on, right? How long have you been on the island? I've been on the island 10 years. Well, what's going on the island? What do you mean you have this, you're stuck on this, why is it Hell Island? Tell me more. So you're asking them questions about what is going on right now. And they're going to tell you there's natives on the island that are cannibals, and they have been hunting him for 10 years. And he's been captured by them, and he's been tortured by them, and he's been stuck on this island. And there's wild animals that hunt him in the middle of the night, right? There's poisonous snakes that he's been bitten by, and he's almost died, right? And he's telling you all of the horrible things that are going on every single day in his life on this island. And you just keep asking him more and more and more. You want to get the full truth, like what is going on here? What is going on this island? And you've been here for 10 years? How are you surviving? Like, how are you living like this, right? He's on Hell Island. And then you're going to ask him, I hope you guys are taking notes on this analogy, right? Leave me hearts if you guys are loving this analogy. This is really what it is, what's happening on a sales call. And then you're going to ask him, what have you done? Like, have you tried to escape yet? How have you tried to get off this island? And he's going to tell you all of the things he's tried to get off the island. You know, I tried to dig a tunnel. I tried to dig my way under the ocean, and I could never dig far enough. I never got there. It was the worst strategy ever. I gave up. I couldn't get out. Well, I tried building a raft. Then I tried building a raft. I took branches down. I made a sail with the palm trees. I tried to get across the ocean to this island over there, and I couldn't get there. The raft sprung holes in it. I started sinking. I had to swim back. There were sharks in the water, right? Then I tried to build a helicopter. The helicopter fell in the water. It didn't get all the way there. It ran out of gas. I've tried everything. I've tried digging for the solution. I can't find it. He's going to tell you all of the things he's done to try to get off this island. I sent smoke signals. Nobody came to help me, right? I'm going to say, oh my gosh. Well, where are you trying to go? You're trying to get off this island, but I get it. It's horrible here, but where else are you going to go? He's going to say, well, there's this other island over there that I really want to be on. It's like heaven. I don't have any of these problems there. Everybody there is like family to me. All of my friends are there. There's like no poisonous snakes. They don't even have wild animals. All they have is kittens and puppies. And he's going to tell you about how amazing Dream Island is. And he's seen it before, like he has the vision of it, but he's never been there. He could never get there because everything he's tried has wound up with him in the water with sharks. Right? So this is the analogy of Dream Island. Number one, we want to find out what is Hell Island. Why do they want to get off this island? What's so bad about it? What else? Are we getting beneath the surface of how bad their life has been for 10 years on Hell Island? Do we understand it? Do we understand the problem? Right? What have they tried to solve it? Those are all of their attempts to get off the island. We want to understand why they didn't work. And then we want to know where they want to go. Right? This is Dream Island. Dream Island and what life do they want to have there? What is it like Dream Island to them? And this is the point in the call. And remember, everything that you do on an enrollment is with the best interest of the client in mind. So at this point, you're saying, do I know where Dream Island is? as a coach, do I know how to get them there? Of course you do. Of course, you probably know everything they've tried to get off the island. And you know exactly why that plan failed. You know exactly why they've been struggling. You know why those things don't work. But you're asking them what they've tried. They're going to tell you about it. You're going to say, of course. How are you planning to get all the way there on a raft? Does that even sound sustainable? They're going to try all of these things. And once you've gotten them to see why all of those strategies don't work, if they try to make another raft, they're probably halfway built another raft at this point, it's going to have the same outcome. Once they see that, now, as the coach, you get to say, hold on a second. I know where Dream Island is. You want to go to Dream Island? I'm going to take you there. There's this bridge over here. Let me show you the bridge. I know exactly how to get across it. It's over here. And show them the bridge. And they're going to say, oh my gosh, I could never see that before. I've been looking everywhere on this island at all of these other strategies, and it hasn't been fixing my problem. This is it? This is the bridge? Right? And you're going to say, yes, this is the bridge. I know how to take you over the bridge. You want to go over the bridge? $5,000. I will totally take you there. You'll never have to go back to Hell Island ever again. You want to go? This is what I do. This is what I help people with. This is my calling. Let's go. And they're going to say, wait a minute. How do I know I'm going to get there if I get on the bridge? They're going to see the bridge. It doesn't mean they're not going to have fear come up. Say, I don't know. The bridge looks a little shaky. What if I fall? There's sharks in the water. And you're going to say, listen, I'm going to take you all the way across the bridge. I'm going to hold your hand. As long as you keep walking, I'm going to take you there. Will you go? Will you do it? The client can still stay on Hell Island. They can stay in their fear and say, you know what, I've been in the water too many times. I'm just not willing to, I'd rather stay with the cannibals and the wild animals because I'm just too scared to get on the bridge. It's too scary. Doesn't mean they don't see it. They still get to make the choice. But what you're doing on the call is you're offering them the clarity of seeing the bridge that they couldn't see to Dream Island. And you're giving them that confidence. You're like, yep, I know it's scary. If you tried to walk across that on your own, you'd probably just feel very shaky and turn around and go back. But guess what? I'm going with you. I'm going to hold your hand the whole entire way. That's what you're doing on a consult, okay? That is the structure of a call, right? Even if you had no script, right? Even if you didn't have the perfect questions to ask, that's what's happening on a call. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand the flow of what someone needs to see, what your clients need to see in order to be in a confident place to make a decision, in order to take action, right? If you just go to your client on Hell Island and say, hey, have you heard of Dream Island? Let me take you there. It's amazing, right? And they don't see the bridge, there's no way they're going with you. They don't have clarity yet. That's what you're doing with your clients on a consult. Let me know if that analogy helped you. Let me know if that helped you see what's happening for your clients when they're on Hell Island. Okay? So that's the what. It is really that simple. It is way that simple, okay? There's a million different things that happen on a consult that you hear your prospects say that you can learn to address and notice what's going on, right? We talk about this every Wednesday in OCI. If you're one of my clients and you're on here, you know we talk about this every Wednesday, right? The nitty-gritty things that are happening on a call. Like if your client says to you, oh, you know what, that sounds amazing, sounds like a dream come true, sounds too good to be true. That tells you that they don't see the bridge. You're just selling them Dream Island. They don't see the bridge. So there's all of the things that you can learn. This is why I'm saying anybody can learn this. These are all the things that you can learn through doing consults and studying this process that will make you amazing at enrolling clients. And it doesn't include anything about coercion, pressuring, convincing, or selling someone something they don't want, right? You're offering them the dream island they want, right? So the second part, the second ingredient to being amazing at mastering enrollments, to mastering sales, comes from your own mindset. This is 90% of enrolling is about keeping your own mindset optimized, okay? Mindset is the key. The process is as simple as that analogy. That is the process. Everything else is mindset. It's what you believe about yourself. It's what you believe about money. It's what you believe about the client. It's what you believe about your offer, right? All of those things is what determines the success or failure. It's a huge part, right? So I want you to think about this. Like, when you're on a consult with somebody and you are like so focused on like doing it right and following a script and doing it right? Each question of the word, like word by word, following a script, and you're focused on the next question that you're supposed to ask on a consult, what is happening in that moment on the consult? When you are like really focusing on doing it right, the next question you're supposed to ask, what's happening? Someone leave in the comments if you know what's happening on the consult, or what's not happening on the consult when you are so focused on the next question that you're supposed to ask. What are you missing in that moment? What are you missing on the consult? Leave it in the comments if you think you know what it is. When you're in the middle of a consult and they're telling you about Hell Island, and they're telling you about all of the problems that are going on and all of the things they've tried to get off the island, and you're so focused on doing it right because you really need them to get to be a client, and you're focused on the next question you're going to ask them, the thing you're missing is the part where you listen and you really hear what's going on in the client's mind. And you miss the opportunity to show them what's happening in their own mind, right? You miss the opportunity to coach them on their own mind. This is huge, because if they don't see it, if they're just vomiting information at you and telling you all about it, but they're not seeing why all of the things they've tried to get off the island aren't working, then the questions are missed on them. They're not having the clarity. This is about them and what they need, and them understanding that and being able to make an empowered decision. So when you're thinking about how you've got to do it right, you've got to get through the script, you've got to get them to a yes at the end, and so you've got to keep going step by step through the script, and you've got to stay on track, and you're over time now, and you're so focused on you and what you are doing, you're missing the part where you get to be present with the client on the phone, right? You're missing that connection where you're focusing on their brain, their thoughts, right? You don't hear what they're saying. You miss it. And it's the words that come out of their mouth, right? It's the words they're saying that will show you their thinking. It shows you their mind. And then you miss the opportunity to help them see their own thinking and their decision making, which has got them where they are right now. Their current decision making based on their thinking is what's created the current results they have right now. The exact results they have right now. So really being present and listening is the only way you're going to be able to coach them through their own mind drama, their own brains, their own decision making. So when we talk about mastering sales, right, and enrolling clients, it doesn't have to be this scary thing where we have to do this thing right and pressure them. When we are focused on them and serving them and helping them and just listening, we don't have time to be up thinking about ourselves and focusing on our feelings in that moment because we're so focused on them, right? Knowing that it's coming from this place of service, it's coming from the heart for the clients. How would that feel if every single time you were on a call with a potential client, you were coming from service and it was coming from your heart and you were just asking questions and listening so closely because you were focused on them and how you can serve them and how you can help them? How would that feel? What emotion would that feel like? Leave that in the comments. I want to know. I'm curious to hear from you what that emotion would feel like to you, what that feels like to be in service for your clients. So if we want to get really good at that, we need to practice being present with the clients, right? That means that, we have to get really good at being aware of when we're getting in our own heads and it's about us. And noticing that and then practicing the ability to move out of that in a call. That takes practice, right? Because it's human to be like really self-focused, right? That's just part of being human. And it's shifting, it's practicing exercising a different muscle to focus our energy on them. It's all about what is in service to them. What do they need? And if we can help them, or if we need to point them in a direction of something that will help them, and we know that's our intention on the call, then everything we're listening for is directed to that, so we can help them and know what direction to point them in. The other place that mindset comes into play, so listening to the problem, being really good listener, being very present, right? That's all about mindset and being focused on them and service to them. The second place that mindset comes into play, and we can fall into this self-focused energy, is in overcoming objections, right? Overcoming objections. So when the client says no, you show them the bridge and they're like, no, I don't think so, which happens a lot. It actually happens a lot. That's how the human brain works. When you're faced with a commitment, the usual programming for the brain is to be like, nope, no thanks, that's scary, this is discomfort, growth is scary, I'm feeling fear, all of the things, right? We know this as coaches logically. If one of our clients was in this, we'd just coach them. But when money gets involved and now we're making an offer and they say no, or they start backing away and walking in the opposite direction of Dream Island, we get all up in our heads and think, oh my gosh, like, I'm not worth it, they don't think I'm qualified enough, this is too much money, and who am I to be charging this? And now we're focusing on ourselves. Do you see how easy that is to flip back into that mindset of self-focus? It's what makes us human as well as coaches. So our job as coaches when objections come up is to stay focused on the client, right? And this is where being in integrity and knowing that you made them an offer because it's what you know they absolutely need is really important. If you know you made them an offer, and the reason you made them an offer is because you know the bridge that's going to take them to Dream Island, and that's why you made them an offer, and you know they absolutely need it, and now their brain is just telling them a story because of the past 10 years on Hell Island, they just are so afraid and so uncomfortable to make the commitment to go across the bridge because they're afraid they're not going to get there. So they're going in the opposite direction of what they just said they want right before you offered to take them over the bridge, right? Our job as the coach is to just be curious about their mind, questioning their mind. That is so interesting. That's so fascinating. Why they're not wanting to go over the bridge right now. Why would they stay another day on Hell Island? Right? So this means that you have to create the space to think about their mind, right? Not your own mind, right? This means you have to be willing to really feel any negative emotion that comes along with being courageous and being willing to say the hard things and stand up for them when they just are walking in the opposite direction of what they said they want and they need. Show them their mind, show them their blind spots, coach them through those limiting beliefs, and do it for them, not for you, right? This is the mindset you have to have if you want to be really great at selling and enrolling clients, right? They need someone who believes stronger than them in Dream Island because they don't have the belief anymore that they can get there. So when their brain has that natural reaction to say no or to wait or to not want to get on the bridge, your job is to just stand in belief and service for them. And the other thing that I want to say about mindset, and this is really important as coaches, is that our clients will highlight our own blind spots for us, right? So when they're giving us a story about their beliefs and why they can't get on the bridge and go over it, and we believe their story, we believe that, and we say, it's true, they can't get on the bridge right now. They don't have the money, their husband's gonna be mad at them, they don't like debt, I don't either. Like, all of the stories that they tell you for why they can't get to Dream Island, the thing they said they need more than anything else in the world, if we haven't done the work to coach ourselves on it, that is out of integrity for you to stand there and say, yeah, but you should totally do that. I would never do that. I've never coached myself through that limiting belief, but you should, right? Does that feel like integrity on a sales call with somebody? This is one of the biggest reasons why a lot of you guys struggle in the beginning, because you know your clients need to do it, but if the shoe was on the other foot and you really had to make the commitment yourself, have you ever coached yourself through those same limiting beliefs, right? This is where standing in integrity on a sales call comes from. Enrolling clients has nothing to do with pressuring someone into something that they don't need, or pressuring them to do something that you kind of don't think that you would do either. It's not that important. You would kind of rather stay on Hell Island too. You really get clear on this yourselves and think about this before you do any sales calls, and after your sales calls, when you are evaluating how it went, I want you to think about that. Did you truly get to the truth of where they're at? Do you really understand Hell Island for them? Or did you just talk about sand fleas the whole time? And they were kind of annoying. And you forgot to ask him about all of the cannibals that are literally trying to kill him every day. And if you spend the whole time talking about Hell Island and he's talking about sand fleas and his sunburns on the beach, of course he's not going to pay $5,000 to go across the bridge to Dream Island. It's just like a little bit better than Hell Island, right? Does this make sense for you? Is this helpful? Let me know if this analogy helped you. When I learned this analogy, it was like a light bulb went off and I understood what was happening on the call. And when you understand it to that degree, and they're saying they don't want to go across the bridge, you can come from that place of integrity and be really curious about why they don't want to go. Do they just not believe they can get there? How can I show them? What could I have done differently to show them the bridge? What could I have done differently to help them see Dream Island? It's right there. Why would they ever want to stay on Hell Island? Why would they ever think they would need to go back there? That is our job as coaches, to show them that. And that has nothing to do with being pressury or sleazy or sneaky or gross. This is all about getting to the truth to the clients that need you the most right now. The clients that are literally on Hell Island, those are the ones that need your help, right? The ones that are on island number 2, and like I said, they just get sunburns, but other than that, they've got a pretty sweet hammock in the back and they kind of like it. Those aren't your clients. Those aren't the clients that need you, right? And the only way you'll know which ones to make offers to, which ones really need you, are by actually asking those questions to get to the truth before you jump over there and try to explain Dream Island and show them the bridge, right? So I hope this inspired you. If you have any anxiety around enrollments, around sales, or you feel like you just aren't good at sales, right? A lot of times we think like, oh, this person just has natural charisma, they have the gift of the gab, or they just sell naturally. This has nothing to do with that. Being a good coach and enrolling clients consistently and predictably has nothing to do with being a natural born salesperson. You're not selling them on anything. You're literally just enrolling them into what they said they want. And that's all about creating clarity so they have comfort to buy from you and confidence that they see exactly how they're going to get there. If they can't see the bridge or they only see part of the bridge, it's not ever going to be enough to move them, because that fear is so strong. We've all felt it. We've all been there. We've had fear literally grip us, and it feels like we're going to throw up and our palms are sweaty. That's what your clients are feeling. So you know that as your coach, you can stand with them in that fear and coach them through their brain, coach them through their thoughts, get curious, understand why they're not sure they can get to Dream Island. If you can convince them and show them the clarity where the bridge is, and they actually believe they could get there, would they do it? Right? If Dream Island, if staying on Hell Island isn't more painful than investing to get over the bridge, they will always stay on Hell Island and they will never invest to get on the bridge to get to heaven. Does that make sense? This is the analogy, but this is the process, and it doesn't matter what offer you have. If you help people with hormones, weight, athleticism, like special conditions that they have, whatever the problem is you're solving, it's the same process that is happening. That is what they need to understand in order to make an empowered decision. This is always their decision. This isn't us telling them what they need to do. We're offering them the bridge. We will totally take them there. All right, my friends, if you want help mastering this process, if you recognize that this is something that you struggle with, or you've had sales calls and you totally know that you're not creating the clarity, you're not showing them Dream Island, you're not getting clear on Hell Island, and you're not showing them the bridge, and you feel like that's costing you sales, or if you just feel like you're talking to the wrong people and they're not on Hell Island, they're just like complaining about a sunburn, and you're not getting it in front of the right people, then write in the comments service, right? Because that's what sales is all about, service. If you want me to talk to you about where you're at right now, if you want me to talk to you about where your business is at, what you've tried, what's working, what's not, and see if OCI is a right fit for you to get the mentorship you need in order to actually master this process so it can feel good, so you can feel confident and really step into that leadership and actually make an impact in your clients' lives, actually help them commit to their own transformation and show them for the first time maybe ever that there is a way to get there, that there is a bridge, and you have so much belief that they can get there, and you're able to transfer that belief to them that they can get there, you will start enrolling clients. You will start enrolling clients consistently and predictably. Okay? If you want to talk to me about OCI and see if that is a right fit for you, type in the comments service. If you're watching this on the replay, type in the comments service so we know to reach out to you if this is something that you know that you need help with and you want to start enrolling clients and you don't want to hate sales, you don't want to be afraid of sales, and you don't want to feel icky or gross or any type of way about sales anymore. I'm totally with you, because I've been there. I've been in tears about sales before. I've had the worst start with sales. If I can master this process and enroll $100,000 a month, I know you can enroll clients as well. Okay? It is a predictable and repeatable process. You don't have to be good at it. You don't have to be a natural born salesperson to love enrolling clients and have your clients excited to sign up to work with you to invest in their own transformation. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me today. I'm so happy to see all of you turning out here today and participating in the comments. It makes it so much fun for me. Thank you for joining me. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your evening. I'll talk to you all next week. Bye-bye.